Good morning. Our hand today is going to be 6-7 clubs. So we raise first in and big blind calls. I think our raise first in stats pretty stat. This is mid position play. We're low jack. Big blind. We've got 13 hands on him. I'm just gonna put him up. Based on the stats of running 23-8, something like this, where I would assume pocket pairs calling. Assume we're gonna have suited aces, some suited broadways, and so forth. I'm gonna say jacks plus ace queen could be a raise. I think that's somewhat typical. This is a 25 NL game. Kind of expect those hands to raise, and we'll go forward. So the flop comes down 10-8-4, giving us a double gut shot with a backdoor flush draw. So I assume villain's gonna check, but he doesn't. He leads into us. So what does this mean here? What do we do? How do we handle it? He actually bets fairly small, so that's about like a third, 1/3 bet. So what does he do that with? Guess you go for. I don't think it makes sense for a set or two pair to make that play. I think you could have some of these top pair hands here, maybe like Queen 10, Jack 10, just to kind of see where he's at, along with some of these weaker hands here, maybe the weaker pairs. My hand's gonna have a lot of like ace king, ace queen, king queen type hands. He could be seeing where I'm at. So I don't know if he could do flush draw, and with 13 hands, we do have quite a few hands here. Donks flop with top pair better, race flop c bet with overpair or less than no draw. So maybe he does lead with something like an overpair. We don't have it, but I think typical, we're looking at something, maybe even the middle pair, something like those. I'm gonna do those. Some of these top pairs, some of these middle pairs, and that's it. I don't expect the draws to be playing like that. So I'm going to say that that's his range. And then the question is, what do we do? We obviously have a decent hand here. Backdoor club. I think when we think about what hands can we play, it's not the way to say it. What hands could we continue betting? What cards, what turn cards are good for us that would allow us to continue to bet? I think that's the better question for us. So I think obviously, yeah, any 5 or 9 is going to be good. I think even a diamond could be okay. I think I don't like a 10. I don't really like an 8. I think ace could be okay. King could probably be okay. If we raise here, I think like a 2 or a 3 could also be okay. But I think overall, we're not folding this. So the question is, what do we raise? I think we raise our set. I think we raise our 2 pair. I don't think we're going to raise all of our overpairs here. Excuse me. I think we can go. Maybe call with jacks and queens. Raise with kings and aces. Don't think top pairs a raising range. And then that gives us a flush draw, open-ended straight draw. That would include our 7-6 as well. And then maybe like a 2-card gut shot. Something like that could be a raising range. So what did I do? I just called, which I don't necessarily like. But at the same time, if he's playing these weak hands, our purpose of our raise, we're gonna get a lot of folds. But if he doesn't believe us, I think he's playing with one of these Queen 10, Jack 10, 10 9 type hands. So it's possible that I might have just gone, okay, instead of raising, I'm just gonna call these hands. So yeah, his is there. Probably wouldn't have. I mean, the nines are okay, but I probably would have continued with those gut shots and so forth. Maybe even called some of these overcards. Yeah, I think calling with all of them will be too much. But 2-card backdoor flush draw, something like that. Yeah, I think that's what we could play. All right, 8 of clubs comes out. That actually helps us. Let's see what villain does. Villain bets. Now he leads half a pot. At this point, he's probably thinking he's going to be good since I didn't raise, and thinks I might be on a draw. So I think we're going top pair or 3 of a kind at this point. Probably 3 of a kind. I don't think the flush draw is going to be continued. Maybe they have that, but I think that's the range that he's going for. We still have decent equity. I do think full house is raising. I think quad should be raised. I'm gonna guess I just called here. I think overpair. I mean, he's bet now. I think overpair is probably a call. Top pair is probably a call. I think your flush draw is going to be a call along with the open ender. I think 80% of our range. That's what it looks like. 5 of clubs comes in, which is actually pretty good. Gives us a straight flush. Which this is a site that has a bad beat jackpot, unfortunately. But bets pot. This guy bets a pot now. At this point, I'm kind of thinking maybe he's got this flush or a 3 of a kind. Maybe he does have a flush. I can't imagine a top pair betting that value, but I mean it's possible. We're definitely not going to be folding. I mean, we do have a straight flush at 1.2%. I think we call with a flush. I think we call with straight. I think we could raise some of our flushes, but I think we call with the straight. Because if we raise, I can't imagine getting many calls here. So I just called. Probably should have raised it. He shows ace 10 and surprised me. I did not expect this hand. So let's see what GTO says. So I ran GTO, had it all set up. I made sure that he was betting. I did 33%. It was close to his bet, but I was curious what we were supposed to be doing. We are raising with sets and 2 pair. Some of our overpairs we do raise. It looks like we're raising jacks and some of the queens, and not with the ace king. We're raising like ace 10, and then our draws. You can see our flush draws are calling. Are raising. A lot of our flush draws are raising. Our open enders are raising. Not all of them, but some of them. So I think we made a mistake here. I think we should have probably just raised it. Even 7-6, you can see sometimes we have a call, but it looks like 7-6 is a pretty decent hand to go ahead and raise. If we raise and he shove and he re-raises us, definitely I think we're calling at that point. But we just called. Then he bet about a half a pot. And now we're stuck here, with that bet. We are raising with full house, I presume that, and some of the 3 of a kinds, but mostly calls. Okay, I kind of felt that. And then 5 of clubs, he bets. He actually bet the pot, but 7-6, we should have definitely raised. So that was a screw up. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, I'm going to try to do one tomorrow, but if not, look for it on Monday.